Hello, and welcome to the Counterpoint Podcast. I'm Shoddy, I'm here with Burris.
A very sexual being indeed.
All right. And starting off, as always, what have you been playing, I guess, the last 2 weeks, since it's been a while?
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I've been playing Stellaris, Persona 5, and a little bit of some games I can't remember, but I know I did play some other games. And yourself?
I started playing Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep again because I got the HD PS4 title. But I went back to Ohio for a little bit, so I was playing like party games like Rock Band and Jackbox and stuff like that with some friends. I haven't been playing a whole lot lately. I'm
No.
busy with work and stuff.
I haven't been nearly as busy. It's been pretty nice.
Yeah, you dedicated a lot of time to Persona.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I put like 100 hours in so far.
Yeah, probably. So, actually, good segue into the first topic. I mentioned going back to Ohio. On Monday, it was a friend of mine's 21st birthday. So, naturally, I went and spent $120 on alcohol for us for the night.
Amazing.
And, we get to hanging out and drinking, and we decide we're going to go bowling. So we have his little sister drive us to the bowling alley. And I sit down, pretty buzzed at this point, not really paying attention. And Derek is like, come on, let's go get fireball shots. And I was like, I don't want a fireball shot. It's like, it's not for you. I want to get one for me and one for Tommy, but he can't. Or I can't go buy both because they don't let you buy two for, like, just you or whatever. So like, oh, okay. Got up, get it. I go get ready to take my turn, asking what size bowling balls we have and everything. I turn around, and Tommy's like, we gotta go. And I'm like, I figured he's joking, He's just fucking around. He's like, we gotta go now. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, they're kicking us out. We gotta leave. And I was like, sort of laughing. And then an employee walks up, and he's like, hey, you guys gotta leave. And we're like, what? He's like, you guys gotta leave or go to jail. It was 11 p.m. the night before his 21st birthday. 1 hour before his 21st birthday. And they were like, we're gonna send you to jail if you don't leave.
That's the rule, man.
I know, but they closed at midnight that night, so I was like, it should be fine. It wasn't fine, though.
No, it's never fun.
I understand that we broke a law, but also, like, come on. Come on. But I get it. He's doing his job. He's protecting himself. They can lose their liquor licenses and all that.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm like kind of on their side, because my job is the same way, man.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
It's not necessarily
absolutely.
me, not necessarily me, but like a lot of the security guards in my job. It's like, dude, if you don't check, you're fucking fired. So
Yeah,
do it,
for sure.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It was still kind of like, oh, man.
It was a kind of re moment.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an acoustic moment on your part.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about
Yeah,
that, though. It was, a minor inconvenience.
yeah, like an aquatic moment for you.
A what?
You know, someone with on the aquatic spectrum disorder,
Aquatic?
like yourself. Yeah. Like the acoustic spectrum. You know?
Right.
Anyway.
Anyway. Um,
Yeah.
something...
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a story.
Sure.
I went to so there's these bidding websites that keep on popping up, specifically in my city. I don't
Hmm.
know if it's just because it's a bigger city or not. The
Probably.
website actually has one location in Arizona if you're interested in checking it out.
Okay.
But you can basically get things that are like usually like $3,000 for significantly less because it's based on bidding. Obviously, some of the stuff is like different things. But anyway, I got a futon for like $30. It's normally $200, and I was like, dope.
Yeah.
When I went to go pick it up, it was they give you like a certain amount of time. Like, this is when you pick it up.
Hmm.
That's it. Like, if you miss it, you're done.
Right.
So I went there as soon as I could, picked it up, and left. Right.
Yeah.
So I decided, I was looking on there, and there's been like video cards and CPUs and stuff like that, computers and stuff like that. and I saw there was a Pebble watch, and Pebble has just discontinued, right? So it's no more because it got bought out by Fitbit, and I was like, well, I want like a piece of history, right? I
Right.
want this watch. The cool thing about the watch is that you get like 15 hours or 15 days of battery life,
Uh-huh.
which is like a lot of battery life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, I could do with 15 days of battery life. So I bid on it, and someone else bids on it, and get into a little bit of a bidding war. It ends up going for like 36. So I ended up paying in total, because they had like a fee and taxes and whatnot. I ended up paying like in total, probably $46. I go there to get it, and when I get there, it's not a fucking Pebble watch. Like, and even the picture they took was not a Pebble watch. It wasn't anything. I got you.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't a Pebble watch. And he's like, what? And I'm like, sorry, because I'm acoustic. And I'm like, this item isn't the correct, it's not what it says it is. And it literally took me like 40 minutes to find the manager, because he wasn't in his office. He was just like walking around. And I had to like chase him down. And what did he's like, oh, my bad. Is there any way? That's really weird. Can I get your information? I'm like, sure, here's all my stuff. He grabs it all. I immediately get a text saying like they're working on a refund. Cool. I get to work, and someone else who had used their services before was like, yeah, I stopped going to that location. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because they never refunded me anything. And like, they say they refunded me, but I know they didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, what happened to you? And apparently what happened to him was he ordered a canoe, which was normally like $400. He got it for like 60. But when he went to go pick up the canoe, there was no canoe. No canoe can do. No can do on the canoe. So I don't know what to say, but I was like, shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, how's yours going? And I'm like, I'm probably never getting it back. So I checked my bank account, and now they've sent me an email with an invoice saying they've refunded me. So I'm guessing that I'm just out the $46 that it ended up being.
That sucks.
Yeah. Which is funny, because the other place was really nice, and it's almost like, you know, you go to like a different library, but this one's in the hood. You're like, oh no, this is not a good library, you know?
Yeah.
The exact same situation. Let me check. Oh, nope, still haven't been refunded. Look at that.
We're all joining the same team.
Yeah, you might want to join the other team.
Yeah, most of it should blue.
Okay, you don't mind.
There was an interesting bit of news today that I don't know if you saw.
I probably didn't.
Do you know what CRISPR is?
Yeah. The DNA.
Yes,
sequencing.
the genetic engineering, I believe, is the official
the
title.
cheap genetic engineering
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Did you hear about the breakthrough today?
No, I didn't.
They took mice that were genetically engineered to be more like humans, and thus be susceptible to HIV, and they cured HIV in those mice.
Huh.
Which
That's
is
pretty cool.
remarkably impressive.
Yeah. It's almost like my the game I've been playing, Stellaris. I've been genetically engineering my species ever since I got the power to do so, and I just keep extending Leader's life.
turning them
So I
into
have
mice?
a queen. No, I have a queen who is like 300 years old now at this point.
Huh.
And it's like, you will never die. I will never let you die.
Good for
Like,
her, I guess.
yeah. And everyone's like in the 200-year-old range, and it's like, when people die, they're like, he died at 198.
Oh. You got drilled. But yeah, I thought that was really, really cool, and like, obviously I'm not really qualified to talk about it because I don't know a lot of what it's talking about, but I thought this was
you can
really
still
awesome.
say it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously what we can do now are pretty cool. I mean, when you first said we're genetically engineering mice to be more human-like, I was like, it sounds kind of
And
fun.
we're creating Master Splinter.
But yeah, essentially.
lame about
But
Master
I mean, that makes sense to make them more susceptible to diseases
Yes.
that we are, so that we can cure them. That's interesting.
And he comments on the article, it was like, we're still 10 years off from remote, like, human studies or whatever, but
Well,
it's still like, that's a huge step.
But the huge, I think we're probably less than 10 years off. But my whole issue with this in particular is I still feel like HIV could have been cured already, and it's more of like, hey, we want to make a profit.
It's big AIDS trying to keep us down.
No, it's we want to make a profit.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of the time medicine becomes that.
Yeah, so you know, like the polio vaccine, right? If if polio was still around today, we would not find a cure, because that's not what we do. We don't find cures. We find ways of treating it.
Yeah.
Like, I believe we could probably fix diabetes if we just put our minds to it. But when all of the money says don't fix it, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Gotcha again.
If you could not, that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to say. I thought it was cool.
It is interesting. And CRISPR, the cool thing about CRISPR is that it's so cheap that we could potentially, like, fix things even if other people don't necessarily fund us. You know what I mean? So, you know, a CRISPR kit is what, like $150 USD. So you could, in theory, get a CRISPR unit, and then voila, you have a working thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever it may be.
There was another bit of cool news today, and it's gonna sound fucked up when I say I was genuinely more excited by this. Darksiders 3 got leaked and then formally announced.
Yep.
Which, if you recall, is the game I was waiting for when we talked about that the other day.
I told you it would never happen, and it did happen.
It
so
happened.
There you go.
Very soon after.
Yeah, like probably 2 months after that. I was like,
not even. I think that was the.
And then it did happen.
Oh dear. Okay, good. But yeah, I'm really excited. I love those games. And what they're doing.
See, I never could really get into them, but I always kind of liked playing them, but I couldn't get into them.
What about them could you not get into? Like hack and slashes or what?
Yeah, third-person RPG. Well, not RPGs, but third-person action games. They don't really make me feel. You know, I don't have the feels for it.
Yeah. I get it. I don't know. I just thought they were really cool. I've always, you know me, I like the whole folklore, mythology shtick.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You're like super into that. That's your whole entire thing.
Yeah.
It's like a big thing.
It's cool
It's
stuff.
like when we were talking about making D&D, and you're like, no, mythology. And I'm like, yeah, mythology's dope, but
I mean, I never said no mythology.
Yeah, you weren't like, fuck it, only mythology. But like, you were very much pushing for mythology, which is cool. I like the idea of having some mythology, but you know, you can't have it like all be mythology.
Yeah, no, I know. I get it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for that game.
Should be pretty good.
It's gonna be interesting to. I assume you watched the trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer. No, I just I knew you liked the game, so I just went to it.
Gotcha. I don't know. We don't have to talk too much about that because you aren't really privy to it. So.
But I will say that it's interesting that it came out after that.
Well, I mean, they were sort of, you know, they've been testing the waters for a while. They released the.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I don't think Darksiders has really like ever done necessarily that well. But it's not far off from doing similar to like Persona. We've talked about Persona.
Yeah.
Like how Persona 5 this time sold like what, like 2 million units as opposed to like basically all of the combined other Personas.
Yeah. Well, they made some good steps with the Darksiders games though, because they did those remasters and then they were in the latest, you know, PlayStation bundle. So I think definitely they'll gain some traction. And this release has come out at a very good time. I know it wasn't their intention, but unless it was.
But what? But what?
But it, you know, it was still good timing. It's a month after the PlayStation bundle, not even maybe.
A month after what?
The humble PlayStation bundle that included the.
I think that was
remasters.
a good plan. They probably did that on purpose because it was PHP. You know it. I will say, but it, you know, thought you were gonna say like because some other game came out that was bad. And I
Oh
was
no,
like,
no.
Kingdom
Persona 5?
Come? No, I don't know. Persona 5 was smart just because they finally released it and people were hyped up about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people torrented those games, or not torrented, but a lot of people like played other people's copies of that game. They'd been around for like Persona 3 came out in what 2003 or 2004. Persona
I don't know.
4 came out like 2006. I don't know, but it's been like so long. We've talked in kind of detail about the history of Atlas and what happened to their like parent company. It kind of fucked them up for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
It looks like your base was destroyed.
It was a little bit. This isn't really a topic, it's more of like a meta thing. Do you have this fear that you will repeat yourself on here?
On where?
On the podcast?
About what? Oh yeah,
Just like
I
topics in
guarantee you
general.
Dude, I'm not afraid to repeat myself.
I don't. Afraid's not quite the right word, but it's just like, you know, it's not going to be interesting if you're have the same talking points all the time.
So I gotta ask, how often do you watch the same YouTube video? Like maybe you watched it like a month ago, 6 months ago, but you're drawn to the same YouTube video. Not a music video or anything like that, but like a real like informational video.
Very, very rarely. Like almost never.
After like 6 months, most of the information for me is like foggy.
Mm.
So sometimes I'll go back and like watch another video or like find that same subject again and watch it again.
Mm.
I feel like that's most people on YouTube.
Right, but I'm not talking about after 6 months. We haven't been doing this for 6 months.
That's true.
I don't know. I have one topic on here that I was like, I don't know if I talked about this already.
Let's do it.
What?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, we talked about drinking a bit earlier. And
Yeah.
you are aware that I have started drinking now. And I was worried...
Right now?
Right now, no. I mean, just...
You're drinking right now?
I'm not drinking right now.
And you're fine.
But one of the things when I was starting that I was sort of conscious of was like, I don't know how I'll keep up with my friends because I don't drink. You know, I might end up being a lightweight or, you know, what have you. And I don't know if I've ever told you, like, how much I drink when I do. But I was still kind of like, you know, I might be a lightweight. I don't think I drink that much. So I'm gonna tell you.
Nearly as much. So.
I'm gonna tell you first what Alaric drank when he walked into my room, slurring his words. Before I tell you what I've drank, and you can judge. So I, being like, you know, I might be a bit of a lightweight, you know, I'm just starting out and all that. Alaric walks into my room, all this confidence, slurring his words, and he's like, Brendan, I have had a glass and a half of wine.
Yeah, I mean that's about like, I am definitely a lightweight. I'm not that much of a lightweight, but I'm close to that. Like, probably 2.5 for me, and I'm like, I'm good, man.
Really?
Like, really good. Yeah, I don't. But I think that's actually like, I don't. Anyone who actually, like cares, like he's a lightweight or she's a lightweight or so.
I mean, if anything, it's more convenient.
Exactly. That's what I think. Like, this is a good thing for me. I don't know why.
I was just surprised, but I mean, I guess I'm bigger, I would say.
Than Alaric?
I'm certainly bigger than Alaric, but I just mean than average. I am a larger human being.
Yeah. You're like you're a little bit above average. Yeah.
I mean, 6'2". It's...
I mean, yeah, that's pretty a little above average.
Yeah.
You're like in the 40th percentile, or
Probably,
the 60th,
yeah.
if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, whatever way you want to do it.
Of men, probably like the 70 or 80th percentile, you know, like in food.
Probably. But I don't know, I just thought I was like You know, I wasn't drinking that much, but I can put away, like, usually I'll have, like, a shot of gin, 2 vodka drinks, probably, before I'm even, like...
Do you have a vodka drink and then a whiskey drink?
I've not had whiskey, actually.
Okay. Depending on what you're trying to do, it's also, like, okay, people bitch about, honestly, people just, like, have a bad, I don't know what it is, but people don't dislike Fireball.
They don't, or they do?
Right? They dislike it.
Oh, really?
I think it's because it's, like, anything, here's the thing, right? I think they want to be, like, part of a culture of sorts.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I like this because it's a manly drink, you know? And in the meantime, I'm just sitting here like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Right.
Like, as long as you don't give a fuck, you're going to have a good time. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with Fireball.
Like, when you first probably started drinking, you're probably like, oh, anxiety. I'm obviously not, this is my first time. I don't know what to expect. But if you just don't give a fuck, for the majority of things, you'll be fine. I mean, some things you have to give a fuck about. But for me, I'm generally just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I was pretty much just down. I just bought a bottle of gin and a bottle of vodka. And just...
Gin, I like gin because it's kind of like, it's got this like sweet aromaticness to it. Yet it's very light.
What do you mean by light?
Like it's a light liquor.
It's a very dry liquor.
That's true, but to me, it like tastes light. Like
I like gin. Like, I will defend gin.
I can put that in some like Sprite or something, and you can't barely even taste it.
Yeah, I'd say that, but I go like 50-50 or 60-40, so I definitely taste it.
But it's not bad when you compare it to like other alcohol.
Yeah, fucking. We went to my cousin's wedding, like I said earlier, and the night in the hotel room, we decided to drink, and so I went out with Chelsea, Trevor, and Christina to go pick up alcohol and stuff like that. And we get back, and my Uncle Ed is in the hall when we're like trying to, figure out what the hell we're doing and everything.
You got awards.
I did. And he's like, hey, do you want a drink? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he's like, Christina, do you want a drink? She's like, yeah, whatever. And she's like, what are you drinking? And he's like, bourbon. And I was like, all right, yeah, fuck it, I'll try bourbon. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And he goes to his room, and he, points to Christina, and he's like, tell me when. And fills a cup with ice and starts pouring in bourbon. And I'd say he gets to like 40% of the cup. And Christina's like, when? And he's like, gotcha. And he pours to like 50%, maybe 60%. And I was like, okay, sure, fair enough. And he grabs my cup with ice, and he's like, tell me when. And I'm like, I'm not sure it matters, but okay, I'll tell you when. And he gets to about 40% again, and I'm like, when? Pours to about 70% in mine. And then he dumps Coke in for the rest of the glasses. And man, was that rough.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of... But at the same time, as you get used to it, you actually... Just like anything else, as you continue to consume it, you enjoy it more and more. You get used to the flavor.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like terrible, but it's just like, you could taste the bourbon.
Definitely. And I mean, if you're trying to get fucked up, trying to get smashed, that's fine. A lot of the times I'm not necessarily trying to, like, just probably once or twice a year am I like, let's just fuck my shit up.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that.
Fuck my shit up. Maybe once or twice a year. Any more than that, and I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
And even when I do fuck my shit up, I always remember the golden rule, which is to have a lot of water.
Oh, yeah. I drink a water after every drink.
Yeah, and you'll never get a terrible experience, at least.
Yeah, I've not had a hangover. It's been very pleasant.
You should try it one time. Just
I think
don't drink any water.
I think I'll pass. To be honest.
I mean, I've had alcohol poisoning twice in my life. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not.
You're literally recommending it right now, actually.
I wouldn't really recommend it. Like, jokingly, yeah, but don't ever really.
Yeah, I have no intention of doing that.
It's fucking terrible.
I'm gonna go ahead and drink some water. Every time.
Like, it is fucking moronically bad.
Yeah, I bet.
It's so bad, dude. Okay, so basically, just imagine, like, obviously you have, like, a migraine, right?
Mhm.
Everyone talks about the migraine. So imagine you have a migraine, but then also imagine that anytime you drink anything at all, or eat anything, or even, like, swallow your own spit, don't lie, everyone does it.
There are people that say they don't do it?
Yeah, there are people who say they don't do it. They're fucking weirdos.
Interesting.
Anyway, you will immediately start gagging and then puke.
Oh, speaking of fucking gagging,
Yep.
the aforementioned drinking for Tommy's 21st birthday. Have I ever explained to you why I drink gin? Like why I start off with a shot of gin?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, obviously my friends drank in high school. I did not. And every time drinking would come up and I'd be hanging out with them, they'd be like, do you want anything? And I'd be like, yeah, just give me a nice glass of gin. Just straight gin. And it became a joke among us that, like, the only thing I drank was gin. And so they'd buy alcohol and they didn't have gin. It's like, guess I can't drink. Sorry, guys. Like, because I didn't drink. And so when I started drinking, I was like, let's do this. Let's start off with a shot of gin. So I always start off, when I can, with a shot of gin.
It's a sophisticated man's drink as well, right?
I like it. But anyway, so we're, hanging out for Tommy's 21st, and we get a type of gin I've not had before.
Which one?
Bombay Sapphire.
I don't like that.
We pour a
it's
shot.
not but
Pour a shot. Tommy and I take our shots, and both immediately almost throw up.
it's not good.
It's not even that it tasted bad. It was just like, holy shit, was
Really
it dry?
But I don't necessarily like Bombay Sapphire. If I had to choose one gin, gotta go with the middle shelf, Tanqueray. That's my gin.
I have only had Seagram's.
It's whatever. But I just really like Tanqueray. Like Tanqueray, the taste of it, I'm like, this is good. Like, this is what I want. My gin.
It was Seagram's lime twisted as well.
Ooh. No, I don't get any of the flavor. I'll add in my own flavor.
I didn't actually buy it. Megan Malaire got it for me for my 21st birthday. But, it was good. But yeah, very nearly vomited taking that shot. I was not prepared. I didn't have a chaser either.
So, in other words, you were very, like being talked to Illidan.
I was what?
Like Illidan, you are not prepared.
Yeah, I was not prepared. That's correct. Anyway, I mean, I didn't mean to, like, harp on drinking. We talked about it for a while.
But I mean, like, probably don't talk about it that much.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I'm getting into the drinking game, buddies. For me, it's like I've been out. Like, ugh.
Megan is
God
concerned
damn.
that I'm turning into an alcoholic. I was like, I'm not turning into an alcoholic.
Listen, as long as you only drink like 3 times a week.
I actually only drink on the weekends, so Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah, whatever. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
No, I have no intention of drinking before a work day.
Like, right now, I work tomorrow, and I like the feeling of being mildly buzzed, right? Like, all the time. It's great, sure, whatever. It's nice, I just relax, cool. I don't like the feeling of, like, being fucked up most of the time, unless I'm just like, no, fuck my shit up, fam.
Yeah.
Like what I just did. Anyway.
Shit. I have friends that can get, like, properly buzzed off of one beer. And I was like, damn, I wish I was you.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think if you're a lightweight, we should be, like, celebrating your lightweight.
Yeah, why not?
Because that only means that you can get fucked up faster.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to drink as much. Like, honestly, when I get a 6-pack, I have, like, 2 beers at a time. If I'm really trying to get screwed up, I'll have, like, 1 6-pack to myself. But all you really have to do if you want to make it more effective, I guess, is just drink it as fast as you can. You
Right.
will get destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, at that wedding, I started drinking at 5, I believe, and I got some vodka cranberry orange juice thing that my sister said I should try. That was okay. And then I got 2 vodka grapefruits because the bartender said I should try them. I was like, okay. And I was like, alright. Starting to feel a little buzzed. Looked down on my phone, it's 6 o'clock, and I was like, had 3 drinks in an hour. Maybe it's time to slow down. And they were
dude,
they were pouring them
listen,
heavy too.
I will play drunk driving with you when you come by.
Yeah, we can do that.
Have you played drunk driving?
To clarify for the listeners,
Correctly.
Mario Kart, not actual drunk driving. We're not irresponsible. We have not played it though. We were going to play it at Tommy's 21st, but my Mario Kart Deluxe hadn't come in yet.
It's so much fun. Oh, that would mean you'd have to bring your Switch, actually, unless you just wanted to play Crash Team Racing.
I mean, I can bring my Switch. I don't give a fuck.
Or we could do Sonic because I have a computer.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously.
You do whatever. So,
multiple
friends were discussing the rules of drunk driving with me, and I think they don't understand the rules. Because I believe it is you cannot drive while you are drinking your drink. You must be stopped.
Everyone knows that. You are correct in that.
Okay.
Anyone who says otherwise is a lying fuck.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They were like, nah. And I was like, yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Shit.
Did you know you lived?
Yeah, I
wow.
lived.
Bullshit.
I'm the best.
I was the best last round. Looks like you're the best this round. Anyway. Yeah.
Speaking
it's
of
been,
Nintendo, since we talked about Nintendo.
If you just... Yeah. But I'll just say this, right?
Yeah,
if you want to get completely and utterly just wasted, like the unbelief, you will do drunk driving. You will play drunk driving, Mario Kart drunk driving. Any kart. It has to be a kart racing game. It's not the same.
Right.
If you play like
if you're running on foot.
Yeah. No, I mean.
I know.
Well, yeah,
A
that too. Or actual car. No, like if you play like a realistic kart game, it's not the same.
It's not. It's just not the same when you guys are actually in cars on the street, just slamming shots and then racing.
What?
It's just not the same when you're actually driving.
Well, do you know that scientifically, you could slam like 30 shots and then get in your car and fucking hit a wall, and when they did a blow test, you would come out as 0.
I did
as
not.
long
know
as you
that.
did it fast enough.
As long as what?
As long as you did it fast enough. So it's actually funny. You know how there's people who will wait like a long time maybe to... I missed all my shots. Anyway, when people like will wait a long time before driving home, like let's say they'll wait like 2 hours from when they drank because they're like, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to drive drunk, right?
You're suggesting
if you're
they just
actually
drive
pulled
drunk?
over, if you're pulled over 2 hours after you drank, it's actually all in your blood. So I think it's like an hour when it's at peak. But if you were to just immediately right after drinking, like drunk drive home, scientifically speaking,
Well, yeah,
you
I
would
mean, it
have
takes a
no alcohol in
little
your
bit
blood
to
system.
hit the bloodstream. I figured people knew
it
that.
takes you like 15, 20 minutes. So
I
you're
think
still,
most people know that.
I think it, yeah, but the thing is, you're still drunk, like very drunk, before these 15 minutes is up. You're like, oh god. But yeah, it's kind of like how if you ever do edibles, that
you know me.
Well, hold on. If you ever, you said the same thing about drinking, motherfucker. If you ever do edibles, it probably will be legal sometime in our lifetime.
Yeah, for sure.
Very, very small amount, and never take more than one at a time unless you're like sure about what you have. So this happened to me is that I had, and this is like everyone's first time having edibles. You probably heard the meme where it's like 30 minutes into the edible, you don't feel anything. This shit's, I got ripped off. An hour into the edible, all right, I'm feeling a little bit. 2 hours into the edible, it's really not that much. I'm gonna take another one. 4 hours into the edible, what have I done? Like,
yeah,
I can't I can see colors and shit because
You can see colors. Damn, that's impressive. Were you colorblind before? Or?
yes, I know some people who are colorblind. That's exactly what happened. But no, anyway, like some crazy shit, like insane. And I did that with brownies, so I know it's pretty insane. If you ever do edibles, take my advice. Same as the water thing. I don't know if I told you that or if you learned that somewhere else, but that's something I tell everyone.
I just kind of knew because I'm not retarded.
Well, I was also like 14 when I started drinking. So.
Yeah. Anyway, to segue off drinking.
Yeah.
We mentioned Nintendo earlier. There's a thing I kind of wanted to complain about. Because before I left, I bought Pokemon Alpha Sapphire for my DS. And it's obvious, but I'll say it anyway. It's a remake of Pokemon Sapphire. And it was paired with Pokemon Omega Ruby, which, surprise, surprise, was a remake of Pokemon Ruby.
Yep.
However, they did not remake Emerald. Emerald was my preferred of the generation, but they didn't remake it. What they did instead was put Rayquaza in both Omega and Alpha, which I thought was interesting because typically Pokemon is very sectioned. It's a thing they've always done. And actually, it is still sectioned. They sectioned other basic Pokemon, and the legendaries that they brought over from other games are still sectioned. And so I understand why they do this. I understand marketing, the reason for the sectioning. It's always really, really bothered me, though, particularly the fact that these combined versions, Emerald in particular, don't include everything. Because that's what you would imagine for a combined version. Like, I would be happy to pay more to be able, not much more, but, a bit more, to actually be able to get the complete fucking set in one game,
Yeah, I think they should do that for the combined versions. I mean, what they end up doing is the combined version, specifically, is usually, like, 50-50 of both, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know specifics.
Now, what I don't understand is, why don't they just charge more for the combined version? And, like, release, like, a crazy edition?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Money. And they can make money.
That is vastly what I would prefer.
Yeah. I would like to see, like, $100, edition or something.
Yeah,
it's,
sure,
like,
why not?
crazy and came with maybe, like, a book or something.
But they don't do that.
I mean, as much as... And honestly, like, how many people buy both? So, how much is Pokemon? Like, $40, $50? I don't remember.
Yes, 50, I think.
Which is a lot for a DS already. So, I'd rather them do, like, 40, and then, like, a 100 with, like, a collector's edition. But the other thing that I don't like is, while they released both editions, right, at the same time, the story is pretty much identical. I don't know if this is 100% accurate anymore. The last game I played was X and Y. The story is almost exact. It is identical.
Right. Just the legendary is different.
With different Pokemon.
Yeah.
Different Pokemans.
Right.
So, my thing is, they should actually change the fucking script on the other one
as well.
So what I would like to see, right, is maybe, for one, you basically had to play as, like, blue, and on the other, you had to play on red. Like, as red. So, in essence, you could basically...
Shit.
Gotcha. You could basically, like, if you wanted the whole story experience, you'd have to get both.
Right.
And I'd like to see, like, the rivalry be, like, one side or the other. And maybe, like, one has, like, I don't know, like a sob story that's in one direction, and the other game has a different type of sob story. Yeah. Where, like, they're both motivated by different things, and they both don't like each other for different reasons.
But maybe. In the end, they're friends. Because friendship is power.
Or they duke it out, and depending on whether you win or lose, is the outcome is different. I'd like to see that, like, and I don't think, like a small script change that doesn't really change the outcome of like everything. Maybe you're just like in the house next to your rivals. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't think it would be that hard for them to just make it a little more interesting so that people have a reason to buy both copies.
yeah. No, I definitely agree. If they give me a reason to get both, I'll probably get both because I have the weird compulsion to complete the Pokédex.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think it would be that difficult to kind of... I know right now they kind of give you the option. Right now, isn't it, to be a grill or boy?
Oh, man. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I do have one more video game topic on my list, actually. And that is the new Sonic title was pushed back.
I couldn't believe it.
And a lot of the reception on this was, thank fuck, because apparently they don't usually push them back and they just release shit games.
Yeah, that's
Sega's
kind
MO.
of like Sonic. Not in Sega, but Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, and it's definitely a good
That's
thing.
how we got Sonic 06.
Did I tell
I have
you
to
I
ask you.
liked Sonic 06 when I played it?
And I was like, this is terrible. Didn't I, like, I tried playing it and I was like, oh, this is terrible.
I don't remember.
While you were watching me play. And I
To
was
be
like,
fair,
not good.
You played the story, which I did not.
I what?
You played the story when you played it at my house.
I just played one level.
Right, but that's what I'm
ended up
saying. I
being-
did not play the story. I just
Okay.
raced with friends.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, it had a multiplayer.
Terrible.
So that's why I liked it, I guess, probably. And also, like, in 06, I was 10.
A retard.
I
Yeah.
was 10.
Retarded.
Right, 10.
Acoustic.
10.
Acoustic.
10. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a good game, for sure.
No. But a lot of issues had to do with just it being pushed quicker and quicker. Like, no, it needs to be released when the Pre-60 is released.
Yeah, I mean, that and the bestiality was weird. Yeah.
It was very, very weird. It's fucking terrible. Should be killed. Like,
It should
that
be
was...
killed.
That created a lot of bestiality people too.
That's where furries came from. The
Do you
Sonic
have
06.
do you have one moment as a kid that like where you realized that like sexuality, not necessarily sex, but like sexuality was a thing? Like one moment that you were like, oh.
Space Jam?
Hmm?
Space Jam?
So it was bestiality. It was.
It actually
Okay,
wasn't
so good,
Space
we're on
Jam.
the
It would
same-
have been Who Framed Roger Rabbit, probably.
Hmm?
It actually probably would have been Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Would have been the earliest instance. With Jessica
It's
Rabbit.
weird that it's rabbits.
No,
It's
Jessica.
really
Jessica
weird 'cause-
Rabbit is not a rabbit.
Yeah, but it is a rabbit.
No,
Like, it's
Jessica.
a
Wait, no, she's a
anthropomorph.
person. She's the redheaded
Oh, yeah,
lounge
she's
singer.
just- Okay.
Shit.
Anyway. I disagree. But anyway.
Wait, what? What do you mean you disagree? She's not a rabbit.
I mean, she's an anthropomorphic rabbit.
No, she's not.
Might need to rewatch that movie. Anyway.
Roger Rabbit is an anthropomorphic rabbit.
Show me a picture.
I will.
I don't
Alright,
believe you.
Hold on. I'll alt tab right the fuck now.
Alright, do it.
I don't care.
Oh no, the
This game's
podcast is
terrible.
ruined. I could have looked it up. Probably would have been.
It would have been better,
some
yes.
I mean, it's terrible that there's no one playing. I feel like it would be fun if there were like 40, like this game originally had.
Yeah. I mean, there weren't 40 people in here originally. There were like 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's based off like it's all sex. You're right, but it is a drawing.
Right.
counts
It is
for
a drawing. Yeah. I watched
Yeah,
cartoons as a
that
kid.
counts.
Big surprise.
I'm just saying if that counts for anything, it is at least it's a drawing. So anyway, I all tabbed it now. I can't get back in the game. Anyway, uh, so there's this like over hypersexuality of like cartoons that like I think even if I were like stumbled upon porn as a kid and I did, I wouldn't like think in like sexuality like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's actually funny. I think I specifically remember being like 3 and I watched Bambi, right?
Are you gonna say Bambi's
I have
mom?
no like.
Or Bambi,
No,
it's
what the fuck?
herself? People were fucking...
No, it's the rabbit. The rabbit's what's it called? Or was it the skunk or something like that? You know, like the whoever animal that the rabbit was into.
So this
I think it
isn't
was
the
a
first
skunk
time.
or it was.
Like, there are, like, Reddit threads that are like, you know, what was your sexual awakening as a kid or whatever?
Yeah.
People have brought up Bambi before.
Yeah, that was mine. That was mine. Yeah.
I don't get it. I gotta be honest. I don't get it.
It's the kind of like it's the season of mating thing. If I remember correctly, there's like a mating season, and then it's like, oh shit! Like I don't know. It was really weird, and I definitely have like no furry tendencies now. But I can see if people like were really into it, like if they were super into it, like this is my shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they could have like become furries thanks to Walt Disney.
Another thing is people say sexual awakening. It
just
seems a bit
it's
insincere.
not awakening.
Yeah, it's not like I
but-
was immediately like gotta go beat off to whatever.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
it
like,
was very much so that I realized that sexuality was a thing. Like,
When you say realize, you mean it was your first encounter with it, or you were instantly like, I understand that people now want to have sex?
no. Like, not obviously. I didn't say sex. Sexuality, I feel like is different. Like it's a lust type thing, right? Like
Mhm.
there exists this, right? So less about like actually sexually awakening, and more of like, what the fuck? Like,
So it was just your first brush with it.
like a feeling.
It was a new thing to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
It was like
yeah.
the weirdest, like, wow, like butterflies fluttering or something. And it was,
That's pretty gay.
you know, your first experience to anything is so different than like maybe your 100th. So any more like I remember my first time playing WoW. Sorry to bring up WoW, but I was blown away, like just at the game in general. Like, wow, this is like actually a world happening. This is amazing. Like, it's so much bigger than anything I could ever imagine. And then like later on, now just playing, I'm like, oh yeah, let me get over here and do this.
Mm.
Like all the kind of magic had
Yeah, I
left.
disagree. That was not my first experience with WoW.
It was not your first experience with what?
With WoW, it's not.
Oh, yeah. But you had played other MMOs. I mean, it was my second MMO. I played Rhodes, and I really enjoyed Rhodes. But I think by the time you played, it was what? Was it Wrath of the Lich King by the time you first played?
Which number was Wrath? Second?
3.
What was second? Crusade?
The Burning Crusade, yeah.
I think
But
it was
you
Burning
didn't-
Crusade. I think it was second expansion when
But
you
played,
first had
like,
me
what?
play.
You didn't play like an actual account. You played the meme like to level 20, right?
No, you had me play on one of your spare accounts.
Oh, no, that was Watley. I didn't have a spare one until Watley.
Oh, so yeah, it must have been the level 20, and then later you had me try your spare or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know at some
And-
point you had me try your spare.
What most people who play WoW, they either play during TBC, or they played during vanilla. There's a couple people who really enjoyed Wrath of the Lich King. I enjoyed Wrath of the Lich King, but like leveling up, I think it's because they ruined leveling after they released Cataclysm, like completely fucked it up. And in a way, they made it better, but they, you know, when something's shitty and it's like an innate charm of how shitty it is, and then when they like make it better, in a lot of ways they made it worse. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, we improved this. It's kind of like, let's say the original like if there's something in Minecraft that you really liked initially, and later they like changed the texture on it, and then they changed the sound, and then before you even realize it, it's like a completely different thing, and like all the nostalgia's gone from when you first experienced it. and you're just kind of like, well, fuck it. That's my experience with WoW now.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things are still the same, but it's very much like, yeah. And I'll still play every expansion and get hyped for it, and then like, I'll play like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I would expect you to be like, what a waste of money, but then I remember like, oh, you spent like $400 on a Balrog, a plastic Balrog.
I mean, I got a game as well.
Yeah, but that game was $60, so $340. Or maybe it was $240. Either way.
It was the Ultimate Edition, so the game would have come with DLC.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Well, the DLC's worthless to me. So.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
but
You're not a DLC
you know what I mean.
person.
Dude, I'm so not a DLC person.
I recognize that it was an ill-advised expense.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was something you could afford, and you shouldn't. Like, as much as I can give you shit for it, no one can tell you like how to spend your money.
Oh yeah, no,
it's
I don't
kind of like
give
if
a fuck. People
I've heard this example
get bent.
before with specifically heard this example before with CS:GO skins.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people in the CS:GO community who believe like, hey, I have like really nice skins, and yet you're not even good.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, no, I'm fucking terrible. What the fuck do you mean?
But I look good
And
doing
I am.
it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's something you enjoy. So
Yeah.
fuck them. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's-
like the best way of putting it is if you went to like a poker room. This is what this guy used. I forgot who I was watching. But it's like if you went to a poker room, right? And one guy at the poker table is like, yeah, I'll put $1,000 down. And you, let's say you are a minimum wage worker who makes $1,000 a month, and you're like, what the fuck? You can't do that. And this guy's like, you don't know anything about me. That could be nothing for me. That could be, you know, I could just really enjoy this. Like, this could be the one thing I enjoy in my life. Fuck me.
Right.
And I feel like it's fucked up that we discourage people from doing the things that they like just because they're like expensive anymore. I'm like, well, that's fucked up. I don't know.
Yeah, so people have gotten on me about this, particularly with like donating to streamers.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why would you give your money to this person? Well, they're sitting there playing games. Like, you may not realize it, but you have something in your mind. You have a value exchange for entertainment somewhere in there. You have an unconscious decision that you make that you say, this is worth the value for my entertainment, or it isn't. And I sit in this person's, stream for however long of the day, talking to them or their chat, just hanging out and stuff. I am getting entertainment out for free. So donating is really just paying it forward in a way.
Exactly.
Now, it's not something
I mean,
I have to do, but it's something I'm willing to do.
Yeah, which it's the best kind of thing in that it's made it to be a donation.
Yeah.
One thing that I wish would happen more often is I wish in some cases that people would have created a Patreon. So there's this program that I've used on CS:GO for quite a long time, and I'd love to just donate to it, but they only offer PayPal donations. And it's like, nah, I'm not doing it. Like, I've even requested, like, on their website, like, hey, can you maybe get, like, Patreon? I would.
Do you have an issue
Patreon,
with
but, like,
PayPal in particular?
I do. I've had a lot of bad experiences with PayPal.
Okay.
You got it. You're the best.
You did.
Mayan Jungle. Anyway,
It's actually almost wrapping up time.
just about, yeah. But I will say that I think Patreon is a really good way to kind of just, allow people to make content that is really good and not necessarily relate or not necessarily rely on like YouTube ad revenue or some other thing like, putting a 1 minute thing in front of your video. I think it's really nice that you have that option.
I've actually
and some
never
people call
looked
it
into
e-begging, but some people call it like e-begging, but really, I mean, shit, they're doing what they do,
Yeah. So I've no experience with Patreon. The only time I've seen something on it was a post about some porn game that was making $12,000 a month. And I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? This guy's making $12,000 a month to make some porn game.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all I saw.
Well, I mean, that's what these people want is a porn game. So
Right, no, I mean, it's a
anyone who-
brilliant platform. I mean, I've used Kickstarter, and it's relatively the same thing.
But Kickstarter, let me put it this way: Kickstarter is a one-time thing, and you have no guarantee whether or not that thing will get made.
Right.
Similarly, with Patreon, depending on what you invest in, I guess you could call it investing.
Uh-huh.
Depending on what you kind of donate to, you're either going to, be guaranteed no matter what that this content is going to be made.
Is there a guarantee
Or-
on Patreon?
All right, let's put it this way, right? Let's say if you're donating to a YouTuber,
Oh.
if they stop making YouTube, let's say you do $5 a month. Like you're like, you know what? I really like this YouTuber. I'm gonna donate $5 a month.
Mm.
At any time, you can stop that $5 a month.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily like on Kickstarter, where you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna donate fucking $10,000,
Okay.
like to get the bonus, whatever the bonus may be on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
With Patreon, you can't necessarily.
There's no
like,
one on the other team.
Yeah, I know. You can't necessarily just release like a shitty product and be like, "Hi, I stole all your money. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Like you can't on Kickstarter, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's the good and the bad. I prefer Patreon as a platform for donation.
Fantastic. This guy's spawn camping. What an asshole.
Here so.
Anyway, we have reached the wrapping up point.
Yeah, we've done it. How does it feel?
It feels right, you know? So thank you for watching. We will see you next week.
Remember to donate to our Patreon.
Remember to donate to our non-existent Patreon.
Yeah.
Um,
You can call us at 188 000 0000
you can try.
anytime.
Can't guarantee anyone will answer, but you can call
No one
anytime.
will answer. Good much.
But yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.